Before Shopify, were you wondering, where are my sales at? Now you're selling with Shopify, the global commerce platform supercharging your selling. You have no problem selling online, in person, on social media, and beyond. Gary, easy on the cha-ching.
Oh, sorry, but my Shopify sales are through the roof.
Start selling with Shopify today and discover how millions of businesses around the world use Shopify to ignite their selling. Sign up for a $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/listen. Shopify.com/listen.
Judy was boring.
Hello.
Then Judy discovered ChumbaCasino.com.
It's my little escape.
Now Judy's the life of the party.
Oh, baby, mama's bringing home the bacon.
Whoa, take it easy, Judy. The Chumba life is for everybody. So go to ChumbaCasino.com and play over 100 casino-style games. Join today and play for free for your chance to redeem some serious prizes. ChumbaCasino.com. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
Hey, what's going on, man? Welcome into a brand new episode of the Foul Pole to Foul Pole podcast. This is your host, Tyler, from Black Diamond Softball and Fitness, and I cannot be any more excited for an episode than I am for this one. I'm bringing on my two junior contributors to our Foul Pole to Foul Pole blog. That way you guys can get a chance to meet them, see their personality, and listen to their perspective on things. Check it out. Bree, Madalyn, I appreciate you guys joining me tonight. Let's jump right into it. We talk a lot about mentality with the stuff that Coach Tyler does. And, you know, we are a part of the Firecrackers. Of course, I coach the Firecrackers SC Black team. You girls are on the squad, and we do a lot of the mental stuff. We talk about, you know, how we do our prep work, sort of compartmentalizing bad plays, errors, and that kind of thing. What do you think is the hardest part of softball when it comes to the mentality? Madalyn, I'll let you go first.
I think that the hardest part is really just maintaining your confidence and not comparing yourself to others. Like, I know that I've struggled with confidence for a while, and everybody's different. So when you compare yourself to someone, it's hard. Like, it can't be accurate. You get better at different times, if that makes sense. Like, you matured like different than other people.
Right.
Like, one person could mature and become super strong at like 13, and then someone else like wouldn't get super mature and like strong until like they're like 16 or whatever. So
I like that. Bree, what do you have to add to the mentality when it comes to softball? What's the hardest thing to sort of overcome?
I think going along with what Madalyn said is confidence, but I think a lot of the times players struggle with confidence because of their parents always down their throats, the long car rides home, getting yelled at about little things. And when the players know that they're good, but they're losing their confidence because they're getting yelled at so much. And I think that's one of the hardest things to struggle with.
I agree. Years ago, when I first got into coaching, I was just a coach on the way to the field, at the field, and on the way home. And you know, I have two daughters that also play with you guys. And once I got out of that sort of take your coach hat off, and we were able to have conversations outside of the game, it really opened up our relationship on the ball field. So when you talk about that parental pressure and stuff like that, we know that the parental pressure comes from somewhere good. It's not a negative thing, but sometimes it can be overdone. So instead of maybe talking about the errors, talking about what went wrong, you know, from your experience, does it help your mentality when we talk about what happened good?
Yes, I think it does. And it really helps boost my confidence level a little bit. But it also is like, if you start talking to your child or player with like the good stuff first, and then reflect on like the bad things in a good way, so, talking about how, oh, you can work on this a little bit more, and this is what we need to work on, and don't be harping on it and say it in a very negative way.
Right. And Madalyn, you're a pitcher, so you deal with it. I mean, the spotlight is on you. You're in the circle. Good pitches, bad pitches, great pitches. You know, as I've been doing this for quite a while now. Talk a little bit about that with maybe your pitching instructor, how you can talk to them, maybe your dad, your mom. When they talk first about what you did well, what does that do to you and help you sort of open up to take on some of that constructive criticism?
So I know that with my pitching coach, I talk about a lot of things like that. Like, we always go over the positives and like what I did well. and then we'll talk about like things that I could work on and like improve on. And it's not really in a negative way. Like it's really, she does it positively too. And that really helps me because I don't really do well getting yelled at. Like I'm not like that kind of player. I don't do well with that kind of coaching. And so she tells me like what I need to work on, and that really helps me. I know to work on it. And like my parents, sometimes my dad gets a little crazy, but he always tries to help me too. He's really good at explaining what I did well, but sometimes he's kind of crazy with the negative part too.
Yeah, and you know
But
what's
he's
funny?
always, it comes from a good place.
Yeah,
So
that's what I was gonna say. Like when we're in a bad mood, it doesn't matter what age you are. If you're in a bad mood, no matter what anybody says, no matter how they say it to you, we're gonna take it in as it's just all negative. I remember when I used to wrestle back in the day, I'd have the same conversations with my parents, and it's like, why'd you try to hit that move instead of doing this, or you ran out of gas late in the third period or something like that. But that's all you hear is like, well, they're mad at me, or man, I'm really bad, and just eats up your confidence. But if they can change that conversation in the beginning to the stuff we did right and what we did good, it kind of lets our shoulders down a little bit, and then we can take it on. And they'll also, say things in a little bit lighter. But we do need that tough love every once in a while. And the older you get, I mean, you're going to want to be told exactly like what was up with your changeup. Right, you could not throw that fastball today to save your life, and you know that. But imagine going back to when you started playing, 8 years old, 10 years old, 12 years old, whenever you started playing, knowing what you know now about that confidence, how it can go from a great lesson on Friday night to thinking I'm about to just go rock it out. And then all of a sudden you have a terrible weekend, in your opinion. Talk about the ebbs and flows of your confidence, Bree. How does it go, for you?
Um, a lot of the times, like you said, I'll have a really good hitting lesson, and then I'll go to a tournament and I'll do all right. And then throughout the day, I'll just kind of lose my confidence slowly and be like, dang, I should have done that. And I just keep pondering on the little things that I should have done instead of taking a step back and breathing. And breathing and like reflecting in good ways have really helped me progress through my game with my confidence. And sometimes I just need to realize that maybe I'm overworked and I need to sit down for a little bit and take a rest from it and maybe come back and I'll be better than ever. But it really just is like I really need to think about it on like a level of not thinking about the little things so much and just thinking about the bigger picture and like in the long run, what can I do and how is this going to benefit me?
Yeah. Madalyn, what do you do when you go from a lesson and that curveball was working, or your drop was working, or whatever pitch was working, and then all of a sudden you get to game day and you're like, okay, what am I doing wrong right now? Do you start trying to work through your mechanics again, or do you just work through it and know that eventually it'll come around? What's your, on the mental side, what's your kind of go to get you through a game?
I just like, whenever I'm having a bad day in the circle, I just try and think about my mechanics and like what I've done with my pitching coach and like all I've worked on. And like I'll try to walk myself through it and just think like, what would my pitching coach tell me to do? Like, how would she tell me to fix this? And like, it's the same thing for hitting too. Like, if I'm having a bad day, I just try and focus on like the big things, like Bree said, and not like, this is just one game. It's not going to determine anything crazy like my future.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this isn't like the end of the world, you know? Like I just need to focus and control what I can control, you know?
Yeah, that's a good point. We can control the controllables, and it's attitude and effort. And I talk to you guys. We have our weekly meetings and even game days and practice and stuff like that. We talk about that, how our attitude affects our effort. And it doesn't matter if you're in a classroom, or if you're at the home, or wherever you're at. If you have a bad attitude or a poor attitude, you're not going to be willing to put out too much effort. You're just down in the dumps. You don't want to talk to nobody. You don't want to hear nobody. But if you can just keep that positivity up, because softball is a game of failure, and it's just like baseball. You're going to fail more than you're going to succeed if you put these big targets for success. Like I got to get a hit. If I don't get a hit, it's a failure. Well, yeah, you failed to get a hit, but you moved a runner, you scored a runner, something like that. So we can. I love the word failure. You guys know that we talk about it all the time. So changing that our mindset when it comes to failure is huge. It'll beat us up if we just look at failure as, oh, that's it. That's an end of a road. It's a roadblock and we're done. What have you guys, Bri, I'm going to start with you here. What have you learned from being a part of an organization like the Firecrackers with our culture and kind of just grinding, working through it, knowing that we're not going to be the best every day, but we have our sisters to fall back on, and kind of talk a little bit about the culture within the Firecrackers, how it helps your mentality.
Yeah, I think it really comes down to the girls on the team. Like, we have a really good group of girls that are really supportive, no matter the situation, no matter what you do as a player or what somebody else is. We're always picking each other up and always supporting one another and never letting us get in our heads. They're always just like, shake it off and you'll get it next time. And I think that really is a really big thing that you need to have, like, that kind of chemistry with your teammates, and to always have that support and to know you can lean on them at times, and always feel comfortable with asking them what I did wrong or what can I do this time. And I think with the Firecrackers, I've really seen that throughout the team, from the coaches to my teammates, and I love that about this organization. I really, truly love that.
Yeah. Madalyn, expand upon that just a little bit and talk about your personal experience within the Firecrackers. I know you have a little sister that was in the Firecrackers for a little bit, and just sort of the culture that we have to where we're not in this thing alone. So even if you're having a bad day, you could have got a bad test score or something like that. We got not just the coaches that are here, but throughout the entire organization that, it's just like all these teams are around us. We all pick each other up, and it's just like a family atmosphere.
So we have a very positive culture with Firecrackers. I feel like there's always people to back you up. If you're having a bad day, any one of our teammates will pick us up. We have a very nice camaraderie among the girls, and it was like that with my sister's team too. Like, everyone was always positive. Everyone wanted the best for each other. And like in the past, some teams are very negative. This team is all positive. Like, everyone wants to be great and they want to do good and they want to be there. And I feel like that's really important for a team. And like all the coaches, they care about the girls and they want what's best for everyone. And I feel like that's really important for a team to have.
Yeah. We kind of fit right in. Like, we are a perfect example of that, having our own brand within the Firecrackers. We are, Firecrackers SC Black, but we also have this big host brand that is the Firecrackers organization. And I think if you were to take a snapshot of us, or if somebody didn't know what the Firecrackers were and they saw us either practicing or in one of our meetings or on the ball field playing a game, they would say, okay, I can get down with the Firecrackers. And it comes from you guys being great teammates. It comes from you guys picking each other up. It comes from just the overall experience that a player has while they're here. Now, of course, we're going to lose games, and we're going to have ups and downs. But you guys know that here in just a few minutes, when this game is over with, that's just one game. We got another one either today or next week. So I appreciate that effort. Just as a coach in general, having players that are sort of mature enough and they understand that and they play for each other. And I want you guys to touch on just a little bit what that means to you as far as playing for someone else other than yourself. You want to play great for yourself, and I get that. But what does it mean to you? What is that mindset like, saying, hey, I have to go out here and perform my job because she's going to perform hers? Madalyn, take that one.
So I feel like there's just like a bigger picture. Like, we're playing for not only ourselves, but like our team and the Firecrackers.
Bree, touch on that just a little bit. Talk about that, where that mentality comes from on the practice field. Because, you guys get out of the car, whatever, somebody might not be in the best mood, but before practice gets going, y'all are ready to go, picking each other up.
Yeah, I think it has to do with, with our team, we bonded so well and so quick that we all get along really well, really, really well.
Mm-hmm.
And that has a lot of benefit to, I think, every single player. And we know as teammates for each other, we need to always help each other grow and get better at the game, and always pick each other up and support one another throughout. And I think it really goes back to us really bonding really well.
And, with family, we're going to have differences and stuff like that, but that's a part of life too. We're going to have those dugout moments and stuff. And that word family, I mean, that's exactly what it is, from the top to the bottom. Later on tonight, as we're recording this, Coach Rico is having the last Zoom call for the players for the year. And I don't know other organizations ins and outs of what they do really. And, something like him, he's putting together these meetings throughout, the year and getting all the players that he can. I mean, he's offered it out there. Sometimes there's 200-300 players. He's on the West Coast. Of course, we're on the East Coast, and we have to sort of adapt. But we have coaches meetings, we have players meetings. You guys get a chance to sit down with the boss. I mean, the director of the program, the president of the program. I don't know other organizations that actually do that, where you can ask questions and he's guiding you for an hour, giving you his experiences and bringing in special guests and stuff like that to help you guys. So when you guys get old enough to be coaches, whether that's what you're going to do or whatever career field you're in, you guys are going to be leaders and in some capacity. And with the Firecrackers, we have the Firecracker School, and there's some leadership in there. Can you guys touch on what Firecracker School has taught you now that you've been doing some of the courses that are a part of the Firecracker School, and kind of talk to the people about what FC School actually is?
Hello, it is Ryan, and we could all use an extra bright spot in our day, couldn't we? Just to make up for things like sitting in traffic, doing the dishes, counting your steps, all the mundane stuff. That is why I'm such a big fan of Chumba Casino. Chumba Casino has all your favorite social casino-style games that you can play for free anytime, anywhere with daily bonuses. That should brighten your day a little. Actually, a lot. So sign up now at ChumbaCasino.com. That's ChumbaCasino.com.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. See terms and conditions. 18+.
Yeah, Firecracker School is really beneficial to everybody that uses it in the Firecracker organization, because it really goes into depth and helps you learn not just about leadership, but just about playing the game and the different positions and the mental part of the game. Which is a big part of the game, and Tony really touches on a lot of things that a lot of players struggle with or need help with, and I love that about it, and I'm very happy I got to go through it and still am.
Yeah. Madalyn, what's probably the biggest thing you've gotten from Firecracker School?
Probably just to be a leader, remain confident and, help your teammates. You're representing more than just yourself. You have that, the firecracker on your chest. Mm-hmm. Play for your team, just put in effort. It doesn't just teach you how to hit, it teaches you the mental part of the game too. Mm-hmm. You can have the most amazing mechanics in the world, but if you're not there mentally, then you're not going to get anywhere. You have to be in it mentally too.
That's a solid point. I mean, we see all kind of athletes come and go. You'll see a girl, you guys have played with them. You'll see a girl that's just got it on the field, and then all of a sudden something happens and they either get the yips or they just don't have it, the mentality of it. I know some of the guests have been on this podcast have, made it to playing college ball, whether it's D3, D2, D1, it doesn't matter. Just when they got there, it was just so overwhelming, the pressure that's there. So, Coach Tony and the rest of the staff puts these little videos together. Some of them are short, 8 minutes long. Some of them are 20 minutes long, but there's so many different topics in there. And being a firecracker, they're there at our fingertips. And, with the certifications and stuff you get, it's something that you can learn and pass on to you with a sibling that may not have anything to do with the firecrackers, could be doing some other sport, but it's something that you learn from that. So speaking of that, if you could tell yourself one thing back when you first got going about this game, give me one word. If you had one word that you could say to your little self when you first got that glove and that bat and that ball and you were about to play this game, what's the one word you would tell yourself, Bree?
The one word I would probably tell my little self is perseverance. I started a little later than most girls would, but I've worked so hard and gone through so many times where I just feel like I was never going to get to the point where I'm at now. And I really just had to tell myself, just keep going. You're going to get there. You're going to get there. You're going to get that good. Just keep trusting yourself and persevering through all the hard times that softball throws at you, and just learn from it.
Yes, ma'am. And Madalyn, you said trust. Tell me how, you throwing that word trust out to yourself when you were that young. What are you trusting?
Really, I'm trying to trust myself. Like, I've always kind of doubted myself a little bit, especially when I was younger. I sometimes felt like I wasn't good enough. And now, like, after working so hard and like meeting so many new people and so many new coaches and everything, I've really just learned that like I'm good enough, like to trust myself. And I really wish I could tell myself that. I also was trusting your coaches because like they want to help you and they want you to be the best that you can be. Like trusting your teammates because you can't do it without your teammates. Like they're important too. So
You're right. Well, we've gotten to the point of the episode where I did want to talk a little bit about the blogs and what we're doing over at Foul Pole to Foul Pole. With you guys being our junior contributors, I know you guys have been brainstorming and working out some stuff. So give the people a little bit about your perspective and where you're coming from in your blog post and what we can anticipate and expect from you, Bree.
My story and how other girls might have the same story, and I hope they learn from it and don't give up and just really put in the work and effort and time because it really does pay off in the end.
Madalyn, you sent me over a list that you were brainstorming and working through. Talk a little bit about that and what's exciting for you.
So on my list, first I want to like write about my journey, like as a softball player, because like Bree said, a lot of girls might have that same story and they might benefit from like learning about it. But I also want to talk about like the spirit of the game and like the mental part, like how softball can build you up to be like a better person and like for the rest of your life, how many new people you meet and like how many lifelong friends you have from it. So, yeah.
Good. I'm probably more excited than anybody for you guys' blogs to get out and start rolling in. I know it's gained a lot of traction. So I know there are people that are waiting to hear it from the player side. They hear it from the coach's side. They hear it from the instructor side. All these episodes that go out with the podcast, it's always, two adults talking. So that to hear you guys speak from your experience and to, get on this stage and be able to talk about it. I mean, we're talking 14, 15, 16, 17-year-old girls. There's not very many that will be in a setting like this or would be comfortable enough or have enough confidence to sit down and go through an episode or go through, something like this, pretty much be interviewed to get your opinion on it. So, you guys, I don't know if you've always been like this, but for you guys to do this, this is awesome for me. So I do want to get some word association and just get your, a couple of word responses to this. And we'll just go back and forth. So Madalyn, I'm going to start with you. Your first word is going to be firecrackers. What does the word firecrackers bring to your mind?
Family and trust. There's so many firecracker teams across the nation. And like, I just feel like I have so many people to back me up. I just feel like I'm a part of something bigger now. I don't know. I just feel connected now. I feel a part of something.
Yeah. Good. Bree, your first two words is Coach Tyler.
I have connected sort of with past coaches, but I never really felt comfortable around them. I felt comfortable around them, but with Coach Tyler, I feel very comfortable and at home, and we're always joking and laughing, and I love that. And he's always picking me up, and not just me, it's just he's picking up the whole team and helping us in every way possible that he can, and he's always supporting us with everything I do in or outside of softball, and I love that as a coach, having that as a coach. And I can always feel like I always go and lean on him about school or friends or literally anything. And he's helped me a lot throughout this game to mature and just grow throughout the sport.
I appreciate it. That's what we're all supposed to do. Madalyn, I'm going to kick it back over to you. What does the word softball put in your mind?
Really just like happiness. Growing up, because I started playing softball pretty late. So I never really was a part of something like that. So when I really started taking softball seriously, I realized how happy it made me. And I've made so many new friends, almost all of my friends play softball. And so I've also met so many great coaches, and they've taught me so much, not just about softball, but also about life.
Yeah.
Like, I've become more determined too, and like, I've become more confident because of softball. Like, I don't think, like, if I wouldn't have started playing softball, I wouldn't be where I am right now. It's made me, I feel like, a smarter person too. It's made my, like, you have to be a quick thinker in softball. And so I feel like it's made me more like hands on and ready. And I feel like I'm just a better person now because of softball.
Yeah, I would agree. You hear that a lot with whatever you get into, and you have to, go through the ups and the downs. And, you love a sport, either you watch it or you play it or you coach it or you teach it or you're an instructor somehow. It just becomes a part of who you are. Now, softball isn't who you are. Softball is something that you do, but the life lessons that you guys are learning on and off the field through softball. I mean, some of the people that you'll meet that you go to a camp or it's via social media. Maybe you see a TikTok or a reel or something like that of a practice drill, and you comment like, "I love this drill," whatever. And then now all of a sudden, you and that other player are now talking. It's it's endless. Some of the places that we travel and go play at, whether you go from the East Coast to the West Coast, or you go down to Florida, or you go up to Colorado and play in the Sparkler. All these places that we can go, it's incredible. And speaking of that, like with the coaches meetings, we get into these coaches meetings and we don't know who Tony's bringing in to talk to us. And before we know it, we're sitting down talking to Leah Miko, and she's telling us, about her experiences of the gold medals. It's crazy to think where the sport of softball has been and where we're going because of the sport. So great answer. Bree, I'm going to hit you with college. Let me know what the word college puts in your mind.
Another opportunity for me to go past high school and play softball and enjoy or play softball, which I love doing.
Mm-hmm.
And it gives me an opportunity to meet more people and learn more at a even higher level than I'm learning right now. And I'm excited to go play college, and I'm very hopeful that I go play college softball because that is a dream of mine to do ever since I started playing.
Good deal. I'm going to hit both of you guys with this last one. So Madalyn, we're going to go first. What is your go-to snack food?
During like a softball tournament, any kind of fruit, probably, or goldfish. I like goldfish too.
I can dig it. Bree, what you going with? What are you getting out of the pantry? What are you getting out of the pantry at my house when you come over here?
I don't know. There's just a lot of good snacks. I'd have to like say like either like goldfish or like blackberries. I love blackberries. I
Good
could eat
deal.
so many of them.
Good deal. All right, Madalyn, which one is it? Is it Starbucks or Dunkin' Donuts for you?
Okay. So in the past, I would have picked Starbucks, but now right beside my school, there's a Dunkin'. So I go like every morning. So I think I'm more of a Dunkin' person now because it's cheaper than Starbucks and really it tastes the same. Like there's really no difference.
There you go. Bree, are you getting Dunkin' or are you getting Starbucks?
Dunkin', 100%. I've always been Dunkin'.
Good deal. If I was to grab your phone and go to one of your playlists, what am I hearing more? Or what's your go-to? Are you listening to country, you listen to hip hop, you listen to rock? Maddie, what are you listening to?
I like Taylor Swift. I like all kinds of music though. Like I don't really have like a specific thing that I like. So
just whatever's on, huh?
Yeah.
Bree, I'll have to probably bleep out all of your songs, but what am I listening to if I grab your phone and put a playlist on?
You'd probably mostly hear like Rod Wave, Bryson Tiller, Drake, SZA. Like I like more R&B music.
Okay. Where are you guys doing your shopping at? Y'all Shein or y'all Temu? What is it, Madalyn? What are you a Shein girl? Temu?
I'd have to say I don't really use either. I'm probably more of a Target person. But if I had to pick one, probably like Shein, just because I don't know if I trust Temu. It seems kind of sketchy.
Yeah. So y'all are Target. Bree, you like Target as well?
Yes, I love Target.
I can find y'all at the Target. Isn't there Starbucks inside of Target, or is that Dunkin's? What's in Target?
Starbucks.
So y'all not on the Starby train? You aren't Starbies?
Mm-mm.
We're gonna get into the last couple of questions here. Bree, I want to start with you. what do you want people to say about you as a softball player? What is something that's your goal that you hope that this is what people think of me when I step off the field for the last time?
I would like to be able to think and say that I was a really good teammate and a good leader on and off the field, and always wanted to bond with my girls on my team and always trying to make them better people and players.
Good. Madalyn, when it's all said and done, and you're finally done playing the game, whatever that is, how do you want people to remember you as a ball player while you were playing the game?
I I want to be remembered as like a trustworthy person. I want my teammates to be able to trust me, know that I can like pull through for them, and like I want them to know that I can like if they have like if they're struggling with anything, I can be the person to help them. I also want people to feel like I included them, and I want them to feel like I was a kind person to them, that I was like really their friend, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like I wanted them to trust me.
Good. Back on that trust. Trust is a big thing when it comes to athletics in general. You got to trust your teammates. Teammates got to trust you. You got to trust your coach, and the trust is, the coach has got to trust you as well. As everything kind of slows down during the winter now, and whether you're playing other sports or you're getting your winter workouts and stuff, and what are you focused on? What are your goals for next year? I know school ball starts in the spring, and then we're cranking up the summer ball. So, Bree, give me some of your goals going into next time you're playing softball.
My goal is just to have fun and really just grow at my game and as a person, and to really I really hope this year is my year to really show how I am as a player and show my full potential in summer and in school ball.
Good. You want to be able to make sure that your skill set is on full display, and you want to shine in the biggest moments. I can dig it. Madalyn, you got some goals set for yourself already?
Yes, I want to get stronger and I want to just be more consistent. Like,
I like that.
I feel like one thing that's kind of holding me back is my size. And so if I could just get stronger, I feel like, I don't know, I feel like things would get better, if that makes sense. Like,
Yeah.
I feel like I'm already like, I feel like I could just, like, I'm here. I feel like getting stronger could get me to like here.
Yeah.
So, because I'm pretty small. So like, I have to use everything that I have. I have to put my full effort into every single thing. And that's what you're supposed to do, but like it'd be nice to have some strength behind that. And I also just want to be more consistent. Like I want to work on my mechanics and I want to make sure that my teammates can trust me like in a high pressure situation. Like if it's a really important at bat, I want them to know that I can get a hit and get on base for them.
Yeah. Yeah, I think both of you girls, once we got this team up and running, I think we put it together late August, September. I think we really started rolling, and we set some goals as a team. We started putting some stuff together. I think one of the biggest concerns that a lot of girls had was that level of competition that we were going to be with. We're firecrackers. There's a certain, I don't know, amount of pressure that comes with that. But then playing some of this higher level competition that most of us haven't played, since we've been playing ball. And then all of a sudden you're like, hey, you know what? I can hang. Talk about what this year did for you and what you're going to take from it as you continue playing the game.
I took away from this fall a lot of things actually. Like it's just like it's not something where we're not at the level anymore where you can't just goof around. You always have to stay locked in on the game because something's always happening, and there's always a play being made or an out happening, and it's really fun to watch, but also play and learn and to go to that next level. And it takes some time, but this fall really helps me realize that I can be this good and I will be this good. And all it takes is just patience, effort, and really putting in work.
Yeah. Madalyn, we only played 4 tournaments this fall, and it was sort of a shortened fall season, but I think we got a nice bang for our buck. What are you taking from this fall season that is, going to propel you into the future?
Before this level of competition, you could just mess around, like Bree said. but now you really got to like stay focused and like you have to keep working. You can't just like take a week off and then just go back and start playing again. Like you have to constantly keep working, and you have to constantly be there for your teammates, and you have to communicate with them, and you have to make sure that you trust them so that y'all will do well together on the field. And it made me realize that I am good enough to play at that level of competition. Like I feel like I had doubts, but now I feel like it's really helped boost my confidence, and it's made me a better softball player.
Yeah. Isn't that crazy, getting around the right people, whether you just, you jive together, you just have the personalities click, and then all of a sudden everybody kind of comes up together. It's when I put the team together, that's what I kept telling you guys. It's everybody that I grabbed is the ones that I wanted. And it's almost like you give the players this ownership, like you guys own this team. You guys are it. I'm a part of it. I might be the boat captain most days, but when it comes tournament days, you guys are running the show. I sit back and you guys can tell them I'm not one of those verbal coaches. We've already done all the coaching we can do in practice and stuff. You guys go out there and play the game. If I start telling you what to do every single second, there's no instinct out there. So I think a lot of you two probably in particular, started to trust yourself a little bit more, like, hey, I got this. And what I want you to do before we get out of here is to talk to that little girl. She might be 6, 7, 8 years old and hearing this podcast. What would you tell her if she's struggling, thinking about quitting the game? Bree, I'll start with you.
I would tell her to never give up and just keep going. And you may see other players, and be a little bit better than you, but don't compare yourself to other players. Their journey is different than yours. You're gonna go through times where you're gonna want to quit and you're not having any confidence in yourself. You don't think you're gonna go anywhere with it, but stay consistent and just trust yourself and your training, and just keep working at your craft, and you will get better and you will go to that next level just like you wanted, just like all the other girls.
Good. Madalyn, there's a little girl that's out there starting to pitch, and she's struggling, and she don't know if she wants to continue pitching anymore. What are you going to tell her?
I would probably tell her to just keep working. You have to stay confident with yourself, because you're going to have bad days. Everything's not going to be perfect, and you have to keep working, and you have to focus on what you need to get better at. You have to focus on what you need to fix, and you have to stay like consistent with how you work, and you have to figure out what works for you and what doesn't work for you. You have to trust yourself and trust your coaches and your teammates and everyone around you.
Good. Very good points. Ladies, I appreciate y'all for coming on. I know it's, sort of weird talking about yourself in front of people and knowing that this is going to get out here, but it took a lot of confidence and for you guys to jump on here and do this. So I hope to do this again once the blog starts to roll and people can kind of get to know you. It's just like anything. We put it out there, and you'll be able to touch somebody in a way that's like, hey, you know what? I'm not alone out here. She's, 15, 16 years old, and she's going through this, or she went through that. So everything, we talk about this, keeping up with the Joneses and stuff. We see this social media that's out there. We got to be going to this camp or that camp, but they hear it from you. There's multiple stories. So that's why I want to have you guys on to share your story, because at some point there's going to be someone just like you coming along and go, hey, you know what? I'm just like Bree. Hey, look, Mad's a pitcher too. I'm just like her. So thank you guys for coming on. It was a lot of fun.
Thank you for letting us join.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, so that's going to do it for this episode of Foul Pole to Foul Pole. Big time shout out to Madalyn and Brianna for joining me on this one. It's a little bit different when you hear it from a youngster's point of view, see it from their perspective. They tell you like it is. Nothing on this was rehearsed at all. I'm pretty sure you can tell that. They didn't necessarily know all the questions that I was going to be asking, and they gave you pretty candid answers. And I bet you that the little one that's in your life or someone has the same feelings that they do. So it's a lot of fun to hear it from them. So if you can, please share this with a friend. And when you do, you tell them you love them.
Lucky Land Casino, asking people, what's the weirdest place you've gotten lucky?
Lucky? In line at the deli, I guess?
Aha, in my dentist's office. More than once, actually.
Do I have to say?
Yes, you do.
In the car before my kids' PTA meeting.
Really?
Yes.
Excuse me, what's the weirdest place you've gotten lucky?
I never win and tell.
Well, there you have it. You can get lucky anywhere, playing at LuckyLandSlots.com. Play for free right now. Are you feeling lucky? No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+. Terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
Purchase new wiper blades from O'Reilly Auto Parts today and we'll install them for free. See better and drive safer with O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.